Morning, all. All right, so 8 games tonight in the NHL. We got 4 of them starting at 4 o'clock Pacific. An hour later, we get one more, and then we get the late starts. All right, so 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets in against the Philadelphia Flyers. Columbus, of course, playing last night, and now they get to play again tonight. And so the schedule just doesn't get easier for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Although it is Philly, and they've beaten Philly twice. They beat them on November 10th, 5-2, and they beat them on November 15th, 5-4 in overtime. The fourth and final meeting will be on April the 11th. So for Columbus, they're 10-19-2 overall. Last 10 games, they're 3-7. Away from home, they're 2-8-1. That's not a great road record. They're 16 points now, back of the New York Islanders and Washington, who are tied for that final wildcard spot. So we're going to have a good team that misses the playoffs in the East. At least one that we're going to be arguing it's too bad they didn't make it in the East. On the Philly side, they're 10-15-7. Their last 10 games, they're 3-5-2. At home, they're 6-9-1. They are 11 points back of the Islanders in Washington for that last playoff spot. So both Philly and Columbus are in the better luck next year category, and so we'll see how this one goes tonight. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The first of 4 meetings. The other 3 will be very tightly bunched in March. Should be interesting. March the 12th, March the 16th, as well as March the 18th. On the Rangers side, they're 18-10-4 overall. Last 10 games, they are 8-1-1. Away from home, they're 11-4-1, and they're 1 point ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So this is directly for a spot. They are also 3 points ahead of the Islanders in Washington. So again, the East is ridiculous right now. On the Pittsburgh side, they're 18-9-4. Their last 10 games, they're 7-2-1. At home, they're 9-3-2. They're 1 point back of the Rangers. They're 2 points ahead of the Islanders and Washington. So very tightly bunched Metro Division. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. This is the first of 4 meetings as well. The other 3 won't be as tightly bunched as the ones between the Rangers and Pittsburgh there. March 12th, 16th, and 18th. Man, those games are going to be insane. Anyways, between New Jersey and Carolina, it's going to be January the 1st, January the 10th, and March the 12th that they'll meet each other. So, New Jersey's 21-8-2, but over their last 10, 4-4-2 is their record. Away from home, they are 11-1-1. So away from home, they're better than at home. We'll keep an eye on that tonight because Carolina's pretty good at home. They're tied with Carolina in points. They are 3 points ahead of the New York Rangers. On the Carolina side, they're 19-6-6. Their last 10 games, they are 9-0-1. At home, they are 8-3-1. They're tied with New Jersey and 3 points ahead of the Rangers. So this is some big. It's a big night for these 4 teams. We'll see how things go. Should be a fun one. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in what's probably going to be the game of the night. The Tampa Bay Lightning in against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So December 3rd, it was an overtime win for Tampa Bay, 4-3. We'll see how it goes tonight. And the third meeting will be April the 11th. On the Tampa Bay side, they're 29-1. Over their last 10, they're 8-2. Away from home, they're 8-5. They're 3 points back of Toronto for second place in the division. They're 7 points clear of Buffalo. So Buffalo, another team that's trying to get back into that relevance, and it's going to be a tough one in the East. On the Toronto side, they are 19-7-6 overall. Their last 10 games, they're 7-2-1. At home, they're 11-2-3. They are 8 points back of the Boston Bruins. So, yeah, the Atlantic has its own intrigue, and it's the fight between these 2 teams that should be an interesting one to watch down the stretch. And I say down the stretch even though we're only 30-some games into the season because we'll be down the stretch before we know it. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start between the Ottawa Senators and the Winnipeg Jets. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again on January the 21st. For the Ottawa Senators, they're 14-15-1. Their last 10 games, they're 6-3-1. Away from home, they're 6-7-2. And they're 8 points back of the Islanders in Washington. So again, the East is quite the dogfight. On the Winnipeg side, they're 20-10-1. In their last 10 games, they're 6-4. At home, they're 11-5. They're 3 points back of Dallas for first in the division, and they're 3 points clear of the Minnesota Wild. So they have to have their head on a swivel here because the Wild are not far behind. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between St. Louis and Seattle. This should be an interesting one. Seattle got a very gassed Winnipeg team on the weekend. And they might get a gassed St. Louis team tonight, too. Now, the first meeting, October 19th, was a 4-3 overtime win for St. Louis. We'll see how it goes tonight. The third meeting will be on February the 28th. On the St. Louis front, they're 16-15-1. Their last 10 games, they're 5-4-1. Away from home, they're 10-8. They're 3 points back of Edmonton and Colorado for that last wildcard spot in the West. We're going to have a good team miss the playoffs in the West, too. On the Seattle side, they're 17-10-3. Their last 10 games, they're 5-5. At home, they're 8-6-2. They're 2 points back of the LA Kings. They're 1 point clear of Edmonton and Colorado. So, yeah, this is a tough time here for Seattle, because if they lose at home against St. Louis, they're risking falling out of the top 8 over the next few days here. So we'll see how it works out. But for Seattle, they had a bounce back in their last game. And again, they're getting a team that should be tired in St. Louis. And then we have the 7:30 Pacific starts. And we know that I expect shootouts in these. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific start between Anaheim and LA. It's between two California teams. That makes the odds of a shootout go up. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again February the 17th and April the 13th. The Anaheim Ducks are 9-20-3, probably playing their best hockey of the season so far, which meets faint praise, right? Over their last 10, the Ducks are 3-5-2. Away from home, they're 4-13-3. They're 15 points back of Edmonton and Colorado for that last playoff spot. Probably not getting there. On the LA side, they're 17-12-5. They've still got a good standing when it comes to probably being in the playoffs, but for LA, they've played more games than the other teams around them. So they're 5-3-2 in their last 10. At home, they're 8-5-2. They are 6 points back of Vegas, who are having their own struggles, and they're 2 points clear of the Seattle Kraken. And also at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, the Flames in back-to-back games in San Jose. This should be interesting. In that Calgary won that first one a couple nights ago, 5-2. I mean, there could be some bad blood in this one tonight. There were some chippy moments in that first game. We'll see how it ends up. This is the second of 4 meetings. They'll meet again March the 25th and April the 14th. For Calgary, they're 14-12-6. Last 10 games, they're 4-3-3. Away from home, they're 4-6-4, so that's an ouch. They're 2 points back of Edmonton and Colorado for that last playoff spot. On the San Jose side, they're 10-17-6. Last 10 games, they're 3-4-3. At home, they're 3-9-5, so not a great home record. They're 10 points back of Edmonton and Colorado. And as I say, once a team is double digits out of the playoffs, the season's probably done, but we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts, your winners, in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. Should be another fun one. There isn't really a quiet night this week. The quietest we get is tomorrow when there's 7 games in the NHL. But of course, then we have Christmas Eve and Christmas where there aren't games, or on Boxing Day. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.